So I saw Max0r's Ultra Kill video, part 1. I've not seen part 2 yet, but what I did see was a Baldur's Gate 3 review, and I really liked Baldur's Gate 3, so I kind of want to see what he could have possibly done for this video. So let's check it out.
This video is going to spoil the entire game.
Spoiler warning there. If you haven't finished the game, don't watch this video. And that includes this reaction.
Baldur's Gate 3 is possibly the funniest game ever made, and I do not think it actually intends to be.
So, some of the parts that made me laugh out the most was in the Grimforge. There's a fight. I summoned my ogres, and they started kicking people into the lava. I was laughing so much. And there was a few other scenes where I was just laughing a lot. Funniest game ever? I don't know about that, but it was pretty funny. And a little gay.
Because it's actually trying to be really gay, taking place in a fantasy world where 4 adult friends are able to play on the same day.
Wait,
this game
Parkinson's what?
Hilariously recreates the D&D experience, all the way down to watching your friends paint the entire ground of their camp with your combustible blood, which turns.
I will say, I didn't like D&D. I always thought D&D was for like nerds or like losers. I'd never played anything D&D before this. And now I'm kind of in love. I hated D&D. Like, I thought that's what, like, basement dwellers played. But I understand now. I understand.
Turns out, can act as the fuse for a bomb. And that is just the beginning of the absolute insanity.
Whoa. What did I just see? Gale with the pistol?
And that is just
shot somebody?
The absolute insanity that this game has.
Dude, I need to try these mods. I haven't tried a single mod.
Baldur's Gate, anything is possible, and everything is determined via dice roll. And yes, that does determine whether or not you're going to be transformed into cats 4 turns before the building explodes. I think this is the best game ever made, and I'm not even exaggerating. But before
it's one of the best games ever made.
Adventures, we have to choose our characters very carefully. We've got Asterion, the Dark Urge, Squid Game.
I have not finished my Dark Urge run.
Customization you can think of for my human male fighter, but today we're going to be.
I guess no spoils on the Dark Urge. Hopefully there's none on there because I've not finished my playthrough.
Playing as Ongyat Rizking, a they-them wild magic sorcerer with absolutely unnatural charisma. Charisma so powerful that I convinced a boss to kill his minions, to kill his dog, to kill himself. Then
that's so broken.
Him to join me against the forces of Satan 30 hours after I sent him to hell. Coincidentally, Ongyat Rizking is not a smart man. My playthrough was classified as morally ambiguous because I usually did the right thing very badly.
Usually.
You're probably wondering right about now, Max0r, why are you speaking to a sentient rat in hell? That is a good question with a very bad answer. I thought it would be really funny to sell my soul to Lucifer and then break into his house, kill his incubus that he uses to have sex with himself.
With himself,
steal
yes.
my soul back along with everything worth money, which is the real reason that I'm here. Make a break for it just in time to get caught and be forced to kill Satan, who, by the way, has 666 HP and sings about how he's going to kill you like a Disney villain. Was this the ethical course of action? Maybe, but in retrospect, I did not think I would get caught. So, on top of his immaculate riz and dubious ethical success, the most important detail of Ongyat Rizking is that he is a wild magic sorcerer, which is definitely a class.
It's funny because in my hardcore playthrough, my character's name is the Rizzler. All right, then let's get going. I'm the Rizzler. Oh, should I do like orc voice? All right, then, let's get going. I'm the Rizzler. Definitely a common name, I guess.
To choose. Imagine for a moment that you and your 20 allies are trying to push past a narrow corridor when me and the fellas cast a swarm of bees, black tentacles, and a goopy fart cloud which kills your entire team before you are able to see anything. I call this strategy the
cloud kill? No, that's the parasites.
If that was to hypothetically
flying
happen, you would
mosquitoes or whatever.
Accuse me of a lot of bullshit, to which I would respond with, yes, officer, I did just disintegrate that child. And what's more, I have committed crimes you can't even charge me for.
No.
To the spell Feign Death, which works by placing
I've never used that one.
into a coma. This, I would argue, is not a very useful spell. But if I were to say, give all my money away to a lucky merchant, then he would trust me enough to initiate nap time. And after carefully concealing my presence in a conspicuous dark blob, I will be able to steal my money back plus interest. And what's more, I get a fucking discount next time I show up. Is combat requiring just a little too much thought? Are you perhaps getting tired of taking any damage. Then, my friend, look no further than the Globe of Invulnerability.
Oh,
which
it's
does
so broken.
exactly what you think it does, a little too.
This is so broken. I was in the Raphael fight, and I got my ass whooped the first try. He nuked my he used his metamorphosis, and then he nuked my entire party. Then I did my second try with the global invulnerability, and I basically almost killed him like so fast. I took no damage. It was so easy.
Too well. The only caveat being that the invulnerability happens to work on enemies, and they tend to see invulnerability as an advantage. Meaning literally every fight that I use it in devolves into the funny friendship circle. Say, for instance, that you were an enemy whose entire purpose is to explode yourself. If you happen to wander into the Orb of Comedy, you would be forced to unsuccessfully activate your bomb vest 20 times in a row.
What is that? Wait. I don't know that spell. It's like suicide? Forever indebted? Oh, is this the debtors? They have like some kind of suicide spell? I never fought them, I'm pretty sure.
Orb of Comedy, you would be forced to unsuccessfully activate your bomb vest 20 times in a row.
I have never seen that one.
Praying for a death that I cannot provide you. Honestly, if you're creative enough, you don't even have to play most combat encounters. I once fought a boss that began every fight by instantly killing me. Now, most normal people in
this fight is super hard. You have to cheese it. If somebody beat this fight without cheesing it, that's very surprising. This fight is so hard.
Situation would reload the game. Try some other quests. Literally any.
Wait, his saves are Gay 5. On Gat Riz King, Gate 17. Sheep Polymorph Wild. Petrified Wild Magic.
Game. Try some other quests. Literally anything that uses your brain. But I am not normal people. I'm autistic. How else do you think this video gets made? The neurotypicals couldn't do this shit. So instead, we are going to cleverly sneak up on him with my entire party, then cast Fear on him, forcing the men to flee while me and the fellas beat him to death with hammers. Another time, I was stuck in a difficult combat encounter with a invincible doom spider.
Spooderman.
At that point, I transformed him into a more reasonable animal and forgot about him for the rest of the fight. Of
what?
course,
you can do that?
Always have to be used for combat.
That requires concentration though, doesn't it? And if he gets broken, I mean, aren't you just screwed?
Or stealing. Sometimes it can be used for productive things, like remote detonation. Imagine for a moment that
Jar Ragslin
because the elephant
is exploded.
Not against non-elephants, mind you, just immigrants. My guy is a reactionary ranch soda. You would be able to
wait out. Oh yeah, he's like he doesn't. He's this elephant is very
reactionary ranch soda.
I will eat. Stop looking at my recommended. What is there? Is that Alex Jones? What is he looking at?
You would be able to quickly resolve this situation by performing necromancy and asking the murder victim who killed them. Alternatively, if I wanted to, say, kill everyone in the goblin camp without conventional methods, I could simply cast Speak with Animals and gently convince the local spiders to begin an arachnid race war. In fact,
there's only 2 of them.
Any animal in the game, including threatening rats into revealing their cheese location, or the cat that narrates like a noir detective. Although I do think it is very strange that I don't have to cast it before speaking to gnomes. But honestly, out of all the magical items you can obtain in this game, my favorite was definitely the
smoke powder barrel
energy drinks, because it gives my character enough energy to leap 50 feet through the air and take extra actions per turn. It gets mailed to you as this cool alchemy powder so you can save on gold.
His isn't the Biden one, is it? Because I remember, didn't the U.S. Department like reach out to GamerSubs, tell them to take this down? This AI generated image of Joe Biden and the lean.
Alchemy powder so you can save
this isn't his,
and
is it?
Craft it into useful consumables. GamerSubs has all kinds of cool spells like Grandpa's Ashes, Guacamole Gamer Fart 9000, and
is he
my
serious?
personal favorite, Lean. These are actual flavors.
This is actually his. Was it actually Max0r that had the frickin' Joe Biden one?
Working on getting you guys an official Max0r cup. This is not the official Max0r cup. I would put boobs on it. But if you want other cups with boobs on them, you can find the shop for them here in Description Alley, right next to the subscribe store. And use code Max0r for 10% off all spells.
I wonder if Honey will take a cut. I do have Honey installed still. I need to take it off.
I am not responsible for what comes after.
By take the cut, I mean everything.
You can do the rump shaker, huh?
That's AI.
Ass, and I can watch Madagascar while
Dude, this car kicks ass!
Jesus fucking Christ. Just
These animals are fucking funny!
One wizard cast a bullet at the other and stole his magical herbs. Turns out Gale wasn't actually a crip. Or maybe now he is. Wizarding life truly is amazing out here in Pennsylvania.
Oh, is this fentanyl? Wait, I gotta see that. What about fentanyl?
Because when wizarding life truly is amazing out here in
Cast fentanyl at police officer. That is a very deadly spell.
Pennsylvania. Because when you join the Wild Magic Gang, you aren't just making a character. You're making a mistake. Wild Magic sorcerers have a random chance to select an effect from a list of 100. As long as you install the mod that adds 80.
Sorcerer is very
Every spell my
strong,
character
apparently.
cast was a guarantee that
Double
something
fireball?
will happen, and
Wait,
whether or
what?
not I wanted
A
that to happen
spectator?
is a different story entirely. Consider
Wait,
the
what?
scenario that you and your heroic party are desperately trying to escape an underwater prison. And no, this time it wasn't for bestiality. It was for hate crimes. You have
Oh my
5 turns to
God.
escape before your character reenacts the Titanic. This is when you make the critical mistake of casting a spell, which triggers
Wait,
the
what?
random effect of lock all
What?
doors,
What is
magically
this?
transforming this exploding prison into an exploding coffin. That is a
What?
remote. Or how about the time that I was tasked with holding onto a torch under penalty of death, whereupon the game decided that it would be really funny if I was banished
Where
to
is
another
he?
dimension.
I don't know
Because
this
it would
spot.
be even funnier if I happened to reload the game and immediately get petrified. Okay, look, I am exaggerating a little
Petrification
bit here.
is
After
so
all,
scary.
The chances of you transforming into an ovine on your 3rd try.
I don't know this spot at all. I've never been
pretty
here.
low. Of course, wild magic doesn't always have to ruin the game. Sometimes it can do really helpful things, like permanently inflict my character with the clown curse, which is, by every metric, an objective up.
Wait, +1 charisma?
Which is, by every metric,
+1 charisma and have immunity to Tasha's hideous laughter? I mean, I guess. Permanent.
an objective upgrade. I had an emotional cutscene after I got this, and I'm sure it made everyone feel better. Here we have the fight with the giant robot, where I accidentally transformed myself into a cheese wheel. This gives us all kinds of new abilities, like
So this
cheesy
is wild
smell,
magic?
which
That's
would be
crazy.
really good if,
That sounds
the
really
robots
fun.
could smell. Now, due to the obvious limitations of my class, Baldur's Gate 3 provides a myriad of options for customization, leveling, and companions, who, by the way, can be respec'd into any other class, making strategies like
I saw somebody do Gale, Barbarian, and he's like basically naked. And his scream is so funny.
the 4-man gambling squad and Jurassic Park.
Dinosaurs.
Completely possible, but not exactly viable. Personally, I find it completely bullshit that I do not get an intimidation bonus for walking into the bank with 3 fucking velociraptors. Like, do you see this very often? So, to get at the true heart of the Baldur's
Every
Gate
day.
3 experience, we have to make some friends, and eventually have sex with most of them. Honestly, it's pretty easy to forget that this game has combat. Personally, though, I didn't get with any of them. Mostly because I can't
That
judge,
happened to me on my
but
first
also
try as
because
well.
I was interested in a more
I
acquired
did nobody.
taste. That's right, baby. Gay sex with Squidward. I
Ugh.
always dreamed
I saw
of
this
touching
scene.
those Squidward tentacles as I played his clarinet. Also, if you don't have sex with anyone human, the camp skeleton just insults you for having no bitches.
And thus
Thou art alone.
Shadowheart, more affectionately referred to as Shart, is a cleric of Shar that
I hate that name. I hate that name so much.
gaslighting into a religious fundamentalist. Then, as soon as that became slightly inconvenient, beat her to death with my entire party so badly that I
That's-
could not revive the body for round 2.
That's exactly what I did in my first playthrough. I felt bad, but she seemed evil. I did not want spoils. I did not want her to kill the Night Song because the Night Song seemed like an imprisoned deity being used for the humans. So Shadowheart wanted to kill her, so I killed Shadowheart because it seemed evil. So poor Shadowheart.
Now, Shadowheart could have survived if I actually trusted her, but unfortunately, she is a white woman. And I don't trust those. Gale is an aggressively bisexual wizard
Excuse
with
me?
a nuclear bomb inside of his chest. And, it wants me defeated Boots. Now, Gale claims this is because of his relationship
Boots
with
and
an
gauntlets.
actual goddess, but I don't believe him. Not because that's completely insane, but because
Okay.
I've seen how Gale behaves around me. This motherfucker is gay, and
Yeah, he wants to bang everybody that moves.
And funny spells. I decided that I was going to respec Gale into a barbarian and give him
Yes.
a gun. This
Make him
was
naked.
the
Wait, what?
He is not out of
Keep the
shells.
gun.
Will is a daring and noble warlock who is constantly told what to do and treated like a dog by a demon girl. So
I'm very curious how guns would work in Baldur's Gate 3. Like, how strong would they be? There's some powerful spells in Baldur's Gate 3, like Fireball. There's some... There's more. I can't remember them off the top of my name. There's much stronger. I wonder how strong a pistol would be.
don't understand why he doesn't enjoy that. This game's writing is unrealistic. Lae'zel is a Githyanki fighter who, within 3 seconds of speaking to her, made me decide that yes, I am going to do a racist character today. And
What?
over the course of our adventure, Lae'zel surprised and shocked me by never failing to prove my racism correct. Asterion is a... Sorry, I forgot I installed that mod. Asterion
God.
is a devilishly handsome rogue that...
My name is Walter White, yo.
He's the devious backshots. This is mostly because Asterion happens to be a literal vampire, which becomes relevant
Like
when I
me, like me.
sacrifice 7,000
I'm a
children
vampire.
to create the ultimate life form. I promise the scene isn't gay. Unfortunately, this did basically nothing as Asterion proceeded to walk down the hall
no.
and
Oh,
get his
no.
ass beat to death with hammers. Because out of all the abilities our sacrifice could have given us, Asterion had graciously
Gives
received
him
the power
bites,
to
super bites.
continue being useless. Though, to be
Dude, Ascended Asterion is so... I know it can... It's actually really good. I'm doing an honor mode playthrough. Ascended Asterion, he's doing so much damage. But it is definitely very underwhelming to what you hear about and see and are able to do. Of course, the game like kind of tells you like, oh, he's just got his powers, so he's getting used to it. And at the end of the game, he's able to summon like a little horde of like ghouls and stuff. But Ascended Cazador is like so much stronger, and he gets it like instantly. If you ever fought Ascended Cazador, I did on my first try, and it was the scariest thing I've ever seen. It was very difficult to deal with him.
fair to Asterion, no ultimate vampire twink is going to kill 5 full-blood Texans on their 5th Modelo. And Karlach is a very hot barbarian that I use throughout the game as a punching bag. One time, Karlach got so mad that she randomly destroyed every box in a 10-meter radius,
What?
repeatedly setting the entire party on fire until we fucking died. It was at this moment I decided that Karlach was going to be the one to disarm every trap in the game for me. Make sure to grab the treasures, Karlach. With our powers combined, we are the
My
world's
Karlach
shittiest
hardly ever fell. I give her a bear heart. She was so
We're
unkillable.
having so much fun without Shadowheart.
Oh,
so,
God.
As the world's shittiest
No,
Baldur's
please,
duel,
Shadowheart's
it
so
naturally
beautiful.
falls to us to combat the forces of Big Straight and
Shadowheart, my love.
Ethnostate. Mostly by accident, because if there's one thing that motivates me more than protecting my potential investments, it is stealing from them. Yes, sir. It
Whoa.
is certainly bad if the
What?
only
Is it
bank
the
in
bank?
the city gets robbed. But don't
I've never
worry,
been in here, I
I've
think.
conducted a thorough investigation in my camp, and I have found no evidence
He's always
of wrongdoing.
exploding everything.
Quests in Baldur's Gate
It's like a
3
Mr.
are,
Beast
for lack
video.
of a better term, fucking insane, both in their scope and in content. Mostly the content, with multiple contingencies for failure, partial success, or the classic unrestricted Japanese war crimes. Truly, the sky is the limit in Baldur's Gate, and the only thing preventing you from achieving your dreams are the consequences of your actions. If, for instance, you were to ride the calamari carousel, a future character will roast you for your crimes against God.
He
In front of your
knows?
friends. Your choices matter in Baldur's Gate.
How does he know?
One time, I decided to visit the circus so I could piss off the local genie so badly
Turns you into a
that he
cheese.
sent me to Jurassic Park.
Oh, yeah.
That's not important right now. Exploring the non-insane part of the circus, we find ourselves enraptured by the performance of Dribbles the Clown. The only problem being that while investigating a series of murders by shape
Dribbles the con. I love that part. He's like, "The old buddy thinks you will like him."
shifters, I had already met Dribbles the Clown, and I was carrying his
Wait, what?
severed torso
What?
in my
Oh.
inventory. Safekeeping. So, despite knowing the
55 years without a foot job.
stalkers, I decided to
Can you imagine what that does to a
send
man?
Stage anyways, mainly because I thought it would be funny. And I was not disappointed. This guy should open
This
a
scene
YouTube
was
channel
so
where he
fucking awesome.
Promotes an energy drink he intentionally poisoned.
This area is so
Now,
cool.
you're gonna want to be careful after doing this quest, because unbeknownst to you, one of your crewmates has been replaced by an imposter.
Oh yeah.
And worst of all, I am kind of into this. Can you shapeshift yourself pregnant? So whether you know it or not, you are going to be playing Among Us for the next 10 hours. And honestly, playing as the imposter is so much more fun, which is why instead
I think
of
it only
starting
does it to like a
I
limited
decided that
amount,
I was going
like
to
5 times,
do
I
them
think.
myself and eventually join the blood cult by bathing in the blood of the
Oh.
racist elephant to bring about a new future of crimson despair. Shapeshifters are usually multiracial. By definition.
No, I'm getting spoiled by the Dark
What
Urge.
I'm
No.
trying to say with these long anecdotes is that you never just
I think that's a Dark
go
Urge
to the
spoiler.
circus in this game, or God forbid, speak to a clown. Though you are watching this YouTube video, which is close.
Repost if you want to nail a porcupine to your neighbor's balls.
Give me the thug shaker, dude. Shake your ass. Take your hands off it and shake that shit.
Welcome to the first major dungeon of the game, appropriately named Central London. And like the actual
Central London?
it is unfortunately filled with the English. You can
The
really
English.
tell because you can't understand anyone and the food is inedible. It is here that Baldur's Gate really shines as a game where you can do almost anything.
Oh my
and
God.
an unlucky developer will be forced to code it. There are 3 targets for you to kill in the Goblin Cave.
Oh, excellent.
Or, if you're bad enough, several dozen, each with their own personalities, weaknesses, and premium cheese strategies. Needless to say, this channel is not going to offer you any good advice. After all, there's a lot of guys
Kill
making this
everything.
game alongside race tier lists. So while I'm not going to be sorting you by phenotype, what I can give you
What the
is a
fuck?
taste of the premium cheddar. Okay, so you're gonna want to start
Jesus.
out by going invisible and placing a wyvern toxin into the Kool-Aid. Then lead a toast by declaring that we are going to drink until we die. Make sure that Asterion is the one to do it, by the way. We don't need him anymore. Heading inside, we take care of our first target by following her to a secluded location, summoning a cloud of daggers, and then initiating verbal exchange, locking her into our
What?
conversation
Are you
while
kidding
she
me?
is slowly stabbed to
That's so
death.
broken.
This isn't considered a crime, by the
What's
way,
with the
because,
T-pose?
well, they can just walk out. Just don't hit a piece of wood while you're doing that, because then you're not going to be killed for assault. You're going to be killed for destruction of property. The next trick we're going to do is
that
called
actually a thing?
Max0r skip, because we are going to be
they
summoning
gonna-
a random spectator.
What?
to stick
That
to
is
the end of
overkill.
Max0r's life.
That is so
Pray to God
overkill.
that she doesn't go down easily, because
Use that for the Inquisitor.
Finally,
That's
we
so
have our
overkill.
third target, Dror Razglin.
Dror
Slightly hard to kill
Razglin.
the conventional way. So instead of that, we're going to do something
Push him into the
significantly
spiders.
harder. I know, really original strategy, Max.
But how do you do that twice? You can't do that twice.
Welcome to the Underdark, home of the spectator boss fight. Because
That-
yes,
this is the easiest fight in the
addition to
game.
having a giant underground area filled with interesting flora and fauna.
For the spectator, I always just go to where the dudes are, the petrified dudes, and I usually have the the alert perk, and I just like unpetrify everybody as they get unpetrified by the spectator, and it's so easy.
Baldur's Gate 3 dares to ask the question of, what if people in the Underdark had a different skin color to me? And completely unrelated to that, what if there was a lot of slavery? Because it is this very slavery that we are going to take advantage of. Immediately
Why
upon
do you
entering
kill
the
them?
Lord's basement,
Why?
You're gonna want to head over to the
They didn't do
Mushroom
nothing
Kingdom.
wrong.
And you're gonna
The
get a letter
Mushroom
telling you that
Kingdom.
the princess is
Yep.
now permanent
Pesky
guest at one of
plumbers.
Bowser's 7 Koopa hotels. Talking to the giant mushroom, you're gonna have to explain to him how reanimating the bodies of dead velociraptors is technically not a war crime. But what I'm going to use them for is definitely a war crime. And after playing a game of Pokemon
I like the
with
Minotaurs.
the corpses that your enemies reanimated, we steal their boats and progress down the river towards the Iron Fortress of Grimforge. This place fucking sucks
Wait,
dick. gonna
I'm
kill
joining the
myself.
war on child labor. Wait, what? I'm joining the war on child labor on the side of child labor.
This place fucking sucks dick. I'm gonna kill myself.
Yeah, I hate this place.
Welcome to Grimforge, home to many
South
different kinds
Africa?
of people, whether they're enslaved or enslaving.
Rhaegar
You,
begins
really
disassociating.
only have 2 options here in the Grimforge. Eavesdropping in on the local Minecraft Let's Play. We overhear rumors of an ancient and powerful explosive, which will purchase my child
never got
labor
to
at
use
least
this.
30 minutes of Roblox time. And after gently ascertaining the location from their bodies, we carefully confiscate the nuclear weapon using a refined negotiation tactic where I lied to them. Now equipped with the most
Dude, I would say here in my honor mode playthrough, I sent 3 people because I knew there was a chance it could screw up. I sent 3 people and I failed like a check basically. So she exploded everybody, and Asterion had like 2 HP. So I would have like possibly wiped. I don't know how Asterion lived. It's kind of surprising.
powerful bomb in the game. we are presented with a choice. We can either use this bomb to help the gnome slaves finally achieve their freedom, or we can use it to
how?
kill Jor Rasglin.
You could just use a normal powder
going
barrel.
back to the Goblin Camp, we discover through some experimentation that Jor Rasglin doesn't actually die to the bomb that I just placed. So into the hole you go, I guess. And that
What? How do you throw him?
And efficiently
How do you have the strength to do that?
Make sure to subscribe for more convenient time saves.
Peter, what are you doing? Crap. What the fuck?
Okay, so the point I'm trying to get across, really badly, is that this game is utterly massive, and it absolutely does not stop you from destroying it.
Ooh,
because
that's
in
hot.
Baldur's Gate 3, every single mistake you can possibly make is going to come up again.
Ugh.
And most of the time,
Why is she dancing?
it is in the form of racial conflict. For instance, do you want to be a good Samaritan and free the Deep Gnomes from their unjust imprisonment? Well, congratulations. You just happened to free the Deep Gnome clan's Grand Wizard. I hope you're ready for a race war.
What is that?
Because
What was
if you
that?
happen to misplace a certain bomb, then he's going to happen to make Hiroshima look like a fucking joke.
What?
Personally, this kind of stuff is the funniest shit I've
What
ever
is
seen.
that? What is
Not
happening?
The racism part, although that is still funny.
I don't know
But
this,
rather,
lore.
The simple joy of knowing that your save file has probably already been destroyed without you even knowing it. Since beginning the long process of making this video, I have
Oh
been
my-
a multiplayer
I have to see
warlock
this.
named
I have to see this editing. No. Is this Premiere? This is Premiere. This is Adobe Premiere. What the hell? Screw this, dude. Oh no. Oh god. I hope he gets lots of money for these videos.
making this video, I have made a multiplayer warlock named Risley Bear, alongside my friends Reese and Nomer Simpson. And after playing for approximately 10 minutes, I can confirm
China?
that my first character inadvertently killed almost everyone he spoke to, and about half the time, the reverse was true. A good example of this is the time that I just so happened to wander my character into a literal god, who then offered me a pivotal and
Oh, this part
important
is so
quest,
funny.
prompting me to raise the reasonable inquiry that if she was a god, surely she would be able to kill anyone she wanted. She responded by fucking vaporizing me. Overall,
Dude, that scene is so cool. You wish to see godhood. It's like, I wait for you to end. That shit is, that's like one of the coolest scenes in the entire game. I know it's like Wish is like a high level D&D ability. Was it level 9 or level 20? I don't remember. But then he's like, people say that she's a fraud. She's not, of course she's not actually God. She's some higher level, what's it called? Githyanki. She's not actually a god. And that Wish scene is like the D&D nerds are like, he's not a real god.
this is, in every sense of the word, a role-playing game. Provided, of course, you want to roleplay as a dumbass murder
Dude, the
goblin.
Blood of Thunder is
Otherwise,
so
why do you even play
good.
video
It's so
games?
fucking
We
good.
shit up in this motherfucker. Better take your sensitive ass back to LinkedIn. With scores of amazing and deep content that I unintentionally locked myself out of because we accidentally killed a man named Bingus
Dude, that
Bongus.
Asterion mod is
Ripped to a
so
fucking
good.
real one. Strategic and complicated combat, and an entire world of possibilities and solutions, which will leave you wondering, how the fuck am I allowed to do this? Is this a glitch or intended behavior? Yes. So,
Yes.
while I didn't get to cover everything since, it's
called knowledge.
You can trust me when I say that there is something in this game for everybody. 10 out of 10 would unleash Gnome Hitler again. For me though, I would like to thank all of my amazing patrons, using and sacrificing their
New video
funding
editing.
for only the finest of video game content. As always, more deranged gacha game videos to come. I will be sure to spend all of your money very responsibly. Oh yeah, this video is about Baldur's Gate 3.
If this video hadn't convinced you, you need to play this game. At least once. You need to play Baldur's Gate 3. It is one of the best games I've ever played. And I was a D&D hater, like I said earlier in the video. I thought it was for freaking nerds, losers. But that shit was fun. Definitely unforgettable playthrough in my life. Alright, thank you, Max0r. Nice video. I'll probably watch the Ultra Kill Part 2 one next. See y'all later.